of you. The room is cold and you can see your breath. It is currently 25 degrees. Ever so slowly, the room begins to heat up. 26 degrees, 27, 28. The ice cube is still sitting on the table in front of you. 29 degrees, 30, 31. Still, nothing has happened. Then 32 degrees. The ice begins to melt. A 1 degree shift, seemingly no different from the temperature increase before it. It has unlocked a huge change. Breakthrough moments are often the result of many previous actions, which could help the potential required to unleash a major change. This pattern shows up everywhere. Cancer spends 80% of its life undetectable, then take over the body in months. Bamboo can barely be seen for the first 5 years as it builds extensive root system under, before exploding 90 feet into the air within 6 weeks. Similarly, habits often appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold and unlock a new level of performance. In the early and middle ages of any quest, there is often valley of disappointments. You accept you expect to make progress in an inner line linear fashion. कोई नहीं आ रहा. And it's frustrating how ineffective changes can seem during the first days, weeks, and every month. It doesn't feel like you're going anywhere. It's a hallmark of any compounding process. The most powerful outcomes are delayed. This is one of the core reasons why it is so hard to build habits that last. People make a few small changes, fail to see a result, and decide to stop. You think I've been running every day for months, so why can't I see any change in my body? Once this kind of thinking takes over, it's easy to let good habit fall by the wayside. But in order to make a meaningful difference, habits need to persist long enough to break through this plateau. What I call the plateau of latent potential. If you find yourself struggling to build a good habit or break a bad one, it's not because you have lost your ability to improve. It's often because you have not yet crossed the plateau of latent potential. Complaining about not achieving success despite working hard is like complaining about an ice cube not melting when you heated it from 25 to 31 degrees. Your work was not wasted, it's just being stored. Can anybody hear me? कोई मुझे सुन रहा है? Yes, all the actions happens at 32 degrees. When you finally break through the plateau of latent potential, people will call it an overnight success. The outside world only sees the most dramatic event rather than all that preceded it. But you know that it's the work you did long ago when it seemed that you weren't making any progress that makes the jump today possible. It is the human equivalent of geological pressure. Two tectonic plates can grind against one another for millions of years. The tension show building all the while. Then one day, one day they rub each other once again in the same fashion they have for ages. But this time the tension is too great. An earthquake erupt. Change can take years before it happens all at once. Mastery requires patience. The San Antonio Spurs, one of the most successful teams in NBA history, Have a quote from social reformer Jacob Risch hanging in their locker room. When nothing seems to help, I go and look at the stonecutter hammering away at his rock, perhaps 100 times, without as much as a crack showing in it. Yet, at the 101st blow, it will split in it too, and I know it was not that last blow that did it, but all that had gone forever. It's a good book. Oh, okay. Hmm. The Plateau of Latent Potential. Here's the photo of it. All big things come from small beginnings. The seed of every habit it is a single tiny decision. But as that decision is repeated, a habit sprouts and grow to stronger. Root entrench themselves and branches grow. The task of breaking a bad habit is like uprooting a powerful oak within us, and the task of building a good habit is like cultivating a delicate flower one day at a time. But when determines whether but what determines whether we stick with a habit long enough to survive the plateau of latent potential and break through to the other side? What it what is it that causes some people to slide into unwanted habits and enables others to enjoy the compounding effect of good ones? Forget about goals. Focus on system instead. Prevailing wisdom claims that the best way to achieve what we want in life, getting into better shape, building a successful business, relaxing more, and worrying less, spending more time with friends and family, is to set specific actionable goals. For many years, this was how I approached my habits too. Each one was a goal to be reached. I set goal for grades. I wanted to get in school. For the weights, I wanted to lift in the gym. For the profits, I wanted to earn in business. I succeeded at a few, but I failed a lot of them. Eventually, I began to realize that my results had very little to do with the goal I set and nearly everything to do with the system I followed. What's the difference between system and goals? It's a distinction I first learned from Scott Adams, the cartoonist behind the Dilbert comics. Goals are about the result you want to achieve. Systems are about the process that lead to those results. Beautiful. If you're a coach, your goal might be to win a championship. Your system is the way you recruit players, manage your assistants, coach, and conduct practices. True. If you're an entrepreneur, your goal might be to build $1 million business. Your system is how you test product ideas, hire employees, and run marketing campaigns. If you're a musician, your goal might be to play a new piece. Your system is how often you practice, how you break down and tackle difficult measures, and your method for receiving feedback from your instructor. Now, for the interesting question, if you completely ignored your goal and focus on your system, would you still succeed? For example, if you were a basketball coach and you ignored your goal to win a championship and focus only on what your team does at practice each day, would you still get result? I think you would. The goal is any sports is to finish with the best score. But it would be ridiculous to spend the whole game staring at the scoreboard. The only way to actually win is to get better each day. In the word of three-time Super Bowl winner Bill Walsh, the score take the score takes care of itself. The same is true for other areas of life. If you want better result, then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system instead. Yes, when you make a system, you can get success anywhere. What do I mean by this? Are goals completely useless? Of course not. Goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. A handful of problems arise when you spend too much time thinking about your goals and not enough time to designing a system. Problem: winner and loser have the same goals. Goal setting suffers from a serious cause of survivorship bias. We concentrate on the people who end up winning, the survivor, and mistakenly assume that ambitious goal led to their success while overlooking all of the people who had the same objective but didn't succeed. Yes. Every Olympian wants to win a gold medal. Every candidate wants to get the job. And if successful and unsuccessful people share the same goal, then the goal cannot be what differentiate the winners from the losers. It wasn't the goal of winning the Tour de France that propelled the British cyclists to the top of the spot. Presumably, they had wanted to win the race every year before, just like every other professional team. The goal has always been there. It was only when they implemented a system of continuous small improvements that they achieved a different outcome. Problem: achieving a goal is only a momentary change. Yes. Imagine you have a messy room and you set a goal to clean it. If you summon the energy to tidy up, then you will have a clean room for now. But if you maintain the same sloppy pack rat habits that led to a messy room in the first place, soon you will be looking at a new pile of clutter and hoping for another burst of motivation. You're left chasing the same outcome because you never changed the system behind it. You treat it as symptom without addressing the cause. Achieving a goal only changes your life for the moment. That's the thing about improvement. We think we need to change our results, but the results are not the problem. What we really need to change are the system that cause those results. When you solve problems at the result level, you only solve them temporarily. In order to improve for good, you need to solve problem at the systems level. Fix the inputs and the outputs will fix themselves. Very true, guys, very true. I don't know why people don't do these things. Why don't they care about the system? They care about the goals. Yes, that's how I think. So, problem number three: goals restrict your happiness. The implicit assumption behind any goal is the once I reach my goal, then I'll be happy. The problem with the goal first mentality is that you're continuously putting happiness off until the next milestone. I've slipped into this trap so many times. I've lost count. For years, happiness was always something for my future self to enjoy. I promised myself that once I gained 20 pounds of muscle, or after my business was featured in the New York Times, then I could finally relax. Goal create an either or conflict. Either you achieve your goal and you are successful, or you fail and you are a disappointment. You mentally box yourself into a narrow vision of happiness. This is misguided. It's like unlikely that your actual path through life will match that exact journey you had in mind when you set out. It makes no sense to restrict your satisfaction to one scenario when there are many paths to success. A system first mentality provide the antidote. When you fall in love with the process rather than the product, you don't have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. You can be satisfied anytime your system is running. And a system can be successful in many different forms, not just the one you first envision. Okay, guys, for today, that's all. We'll go for problem number 4. Goals are the odds. Oh, this one.